everyone. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. And currently, we are going to discuss our topic that is Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol, that is EIGRP. So, EIGRP is a layer 3 routing protocol that is a advanced distance vector routing protocol. Basically, this is also known as a hybrid protocol because this protocol works over distance vector as well as the link state protocols to provide the faster convergence, and it is really efficient for the network resources and scalability. Okay, here we are going to discuss about the EIGRP in deeply about its features, operation, and configuration with examples. Okay, so if I talk about the key features of EIGRP, so EIGRP is a hybrid protocol because it incorporates the characteristic of both distance vector and the link state routing protocols. Let us assume if we take an example like this. Okay, so if this is our source and this is our destination, if I talk about the routing information protocol, that will automatically select the middle path to forward the data because it has the least number of nodes. But if I talk about EIGRP, so EIGRP first of all check the bandwidth of all the paths. What is the bandwidth of this path, and what is the bandwidth of this path, and what is the bandwidth of third path. On the behalf of bandwidth and the delay, the path will be automatically selected. Well, if I consider about this example, so the path which is the last one has the highest bandwidth and the calculated delay is the least one in the bandwidth and the combination of delay will be the least. So best path will be selected is the last one path number 3 because it has 1 Gbps of speed. So if I talk about the EIGRP, it will automatically select the third path to forward the data. So this is known as hybrid protocol because it is considering the hop count as well as the speed, that is called bandwidth, as well as the delay of the route. Okay. If I talk about the faster convergence, the EIGRP is having the faster convergence. Now, what is the meaning of faster convergence? Dear, the EIGRP protocol uses the diffusing update algorithm. This is called dual algorithm. Okay, because this protocol has a faster convergence of approximate 15 second of hold time. So it is, if any network will be down, let us assume we have a network like this on which we already have configured the EIGRP protocol. Okay. Well, EIGRP will automatically select the middle path because in this case, all the data forwarding will be done on the same speed. All the links are 100 Mbps. So this will be the best path to forward the data. Let us assume if this link will be down, what will happen? Okay, for now, this link is working. Let's see what will be the data flow. Let me open the simulation panel and let me try to forward a data in between these two. Okay. So let me forward a ping message here. So ping 192.168.17.2. You can see the ICMP packet will be generated. This will be forwarded to the switch, which will forward to the router, and the data has been forwarded directly. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of the convergence? Let us assume that this link is down by mistake, so it will automatically select the secondary path within some seconds. This is called faster convergence method. So let me shut down this link and we'll see which path will be automatically selected. So how I can shut down this link? Go to the router, select the interface SC0/2/0 and shut down. When I will shut down this link, the path will be automatically selected will be the above one. Okay, so let me try to forward the data now because this link is not working. We'll see what data, which path will be selected to forward the data. Okay, so ping 192.168.17.2, you can see that within a few seconds it is automatically has selected the second alternate path to forward the data. This is called faster convergence mechanism. Don't worry about dear because in our next class we are also going to discuss the best path selection procedure of the EIGRP protocol. Okay. Now let's get back to our slide again. As we have seen in our example that EIGRP is doing the efficient use of bandwidth. What? EIGRP only sends the incremental update. That it means it is forwarding the limited amount of update that is really necessary for the network. Okay, that is why this is a faster protocol. The, if I talk about the scalability, we can expand the EIGRP over the complex and larger network because it is a faster protocol and uses the best resources for the data transfer. Okay. If I talk about the EIGRP, it supports the VLSM and CIDR, that is means the subnets and subnetting supported by this protocol EIGRP. Okay. Now, if I talk about the unequal cost load balancing, EIGRP also supports the unequal cost load balancing and it allows the traffic to be distributed over the multiple paths with the different matrices. Now, what is the meaning of this? Let us assume we have a network like this. This is our source and this is our destination, and we want to forward the data from source to destination. So the data can be forwarded with the load balancing. Load balancing, what is the meaning of load balancing? If the bandwidth of all of these paths will be the same, so the data will be distributed over all of these nodes like this. So data will be forwarded to the router 0, then the data will be split into splitted over the three different paths to forward the data on best regards. For the load balancing, to reduce the load, this protocol split the data and forward the data over all of these three nodes, all of these three paths. So this is called what? The distribution of data. We call this unequal cost load balancing. Well, if the cost of these paths will be still we can forward the data by splitting the data into multiple parts. Okay. It is also support the authentication. EIGRP support MD5 authentication to ensure the data transfer is authentic. Okay. Well, EIGRP protocol is protocol independent because it supports IP version 4, IP version 6, IPX, and Apple Talk features. This is IP phone feature. IPX and IP phone features also supported in case of what? EIGRP. Now let's talk about some important features of EIGRP. First of all, the AD value. If I talk about the AD value of the EIGRP is 90 for internal and external is 170. If I compare with the routing information protocol, the routing information protocol has an AD value of what? 120. Well, AD value, well, if I talk about the AD value is known as administrative distance. So lower the AD value, more worthy is the protocol. Well, if I talk about the trustworthiness, so this protocol is really trustworthy. But the issue with this protocol is that this is a Cisco proprietary. Now, if I talk about the routing code, so for internal network, the routing code is D for EIGRP and D star for the external. Okay. Well, minimum hop count for the EIGRP is 100. That is means the EIGRP will not work beyond 100 nodes. That is a limitation of the EIGRP. It can work up to 100 nodes only. Okay. If I talk about the maximum paths that can be on which the data can be forwarded are 4 paths. Okay. So it can have 4 paths to forward the data from one source to the destination. If I talk about the multicast IP address, so the multicast IP address of the EIGRP is 224.0.0.10, and it uses the diffusion update algorithm. We call this dual algorithm to forward the data. Well, there are two states of the EIGRP: pending state and full state. And the EIGRP is a reliable transfer protocol. We call this RTP protocol. And there is some modes also in EIGRP. These are stuck active mode, for 180 seconds. This the active mode is also called SIA timer that has to detect when a route is stuck in an active state due to lack of response from neighbors. If there is a lack of response from neighbor in active state, the SIA mode will be started automatically. Okay. So EIGRP supports the CIDR as I already told you, and the protocol number of EIGRP is 88. Okay. Well, there is something called AS number concept. So the EIGRP works over the autonomous system number for the neighborship formation, and the range of this EIGRP AS number can be 1265536. Okay. So this is the range of EIGRP AS number. Okay. So there are two timers in EIGRP, hello timer and hold on timer. The hello timer is the timer that has been forwarded to the neighbor to check the connectivity in every 5 seconds. That is means a hello packet will be forwarded to the neighbor in every 5 seconds to check the neighbor connectivity in case of high speed interfaces like ethernet or gig ports. Well, in case of wide area network link, the 60 second will be taken to do that. That is why it is not reliable for the wide area network. In case of local area network, this is the best protocol. The hold on timer for the EIGRP protocol is 15 second. Okay. And this is somehow three times of the hello timer. Okay. The hold on timer specify how long a route should wait for hello packet. What is the meaning of hello packet now? In case of hello packet, in every 5 seconds, the routers will forward a hello packet to the neighbor that are you available or not, and that is done by the multicast address 224.0.0.10. Okay. And if the neighbor will not respond for the next 15 seconds, the hold on timer is approx 15 seconds for the same. So the neighbor will wait for the next 15 seconds for the updates. Thereafter, the other modes will be started. Okay. And the data will be flushed after some time. Okay. If I talk about the EIGRP packet types, so there are some packet like hello packet, update packet, query packet, reply packet, and acknowledgement packet. So these are the packets in case of what EIGRP. So we have a separate class for the packet types in case of EIGRP. So that will be in next class. If I talk about the tables in EIGRP, so there are three tables: neighbor table, topology table, and routing table. In case of neighbor table, it will have the information of all the directly connected neighbors. In topology table, it will have the information of all the neighbors and and all the paths to forward the data. In case of same AS number, the topology table will have the path information of all the routes. Okay, in case of routing table, we will have the information of best path and the directly connected neighbor. So there are three tables over here. So there are five EIGRP matrices: bandwidth, delay, load, reliability, and size of the MTU. Okay, the bandwidth, the minimum bandwidth of the route is known as the bandwidth. The delay is the cumulative delay of the route, right? The load on the route, that is that is an optional criteria to select the best path. Reliability is also an optional factor for the data transfer. If I talk about the MTU, the maximum transmission unit, that is called MTU. Well, in general, it is 1500 in general. Okay. If I talk about the EIGRP metric calculation, so metric is equal to 10 to power 7 upon minimum bandwidth plus cumulative delay multiplied by 256. So this is the formula. We are going to use this formula for the delay calculation in our next class. Okay. How the EIGRP neighbor discovery done in case of EIGRP? First of all, the EIGRP protocol forwards the periodic update to the neighbors in every 5 seconds, and this is done on high speed network. If the neighbor will be found, the EIGRP maintains the neighbor table and create the neighborship by the multicasting of the packets. Okay. So this is the configuration of the EIGRP protocol: enable, configuring terminal, router EIGRP1, then the network and exit. So here we have advertised the network. This is AS number, router EIGRP AS number, because same AS number can perform the neighborship. Okay. Now let's talk about the multicasting. What is the meaning of multicasting, dear all? Let us assume that EIGRP is running on this router and this router and this router. So whenever we will advertise the network over this router, it will start multicasting. An IP address will be 224.0.0.10, and the hello packet will be multicasted in. So hello packet will be forwarded in every 5 seconds to the neighbors. Hello packet and hello packet. Those who are running the EIGRP process will accept this packet. So this packet will be forwarded to the neighbors. But from these neighbors, this neighbor will reject this packet because the EIGRP is not running for the same. The meaning of multicast message is what? The router, those are running with the EIGRP protocol, can accept this data. So this packet will be received by this one and this one. These routers will also forward the multicast packet like this. So this is how the neighborship will be formed. Okay. Now let's talk about the configuration of EIGRP, how the configuration will be done. So that's simple. Configuration is there. Put a command router EIGRP1 network, then introduce the network 192.168.10.0, 192.168.11.0, 12.0, and 13.0. So this is how the configuration of EIGRP will be done. On other routers, we will also repeat the same: enable, configuring terminal, okay, configuring terminal, router EIGRP1 network 192.168.11.0, 192.168.12.0. So by the same command, we have to configure all of these, right? Whenever I will go to the router and put a command, what? Show IP route. It will show you all the information of the networks. Here, as I already told you, that D represents the networks, that the information of the network collected by the EIGRP. Here we have D, D, and D. So these four network information collected by what? EIGRP. Okay. So this is how the EIGRP forwards the data. So let's talk about the packets of EIGRP. In our next class, we are going to discuss about the configuration and the packet. So dear all, subscribe my channel for the further videos and have a nice day.